So now we have discussed what is cloud computing and why all organization and industries are moving to the cloud. Now we will see the history of cloud computing, what its advantage and disadvantages. So in 1999, Salesforce.com started delivering its softwares over the cloud through web application. That was the first time it is a start of the cloud services. So the applications were delivered to enterprise over the internet, and this way the dream of cloud computing sold as utility. Before 1999, software were delivered as a .exe file or executable file, but Salesforce started this trend to deliver those applications through websites using cloud computing. Then 2002, Amazon started Amazon Web Services, but actually AWS started in 2006 as a commercial cloud services. Then 2009, Google Apps also come into the picture. They started Google Cloud Platform, and then of course all the big players are present in the cloud computing evolution. So in 2009, Microsoft started Windows Azure system. So that's how cloud computing started. Now, advantages of cloud computing. First, backup and restore data. So it's a very common and important advantages of cloud computing because we have lots of digital data. So you can just back up all those digital data to some services. So there are multiple services that can utilize to backup and restore the data. For example, in our personal use case, we use Google Drive to backup and restore the data. Then improved collaboration. So take example of Google Drive only. Let's say if I'm using Google Drive to back up all my personal data, then I can share that data with anyone using Google Drive. So we can collaborate for that particular part. Same you can do on enterprise level also. You can use S3 bucket to back up and restore the data. Then excellent accessibility. So cloud allow us to quickly access and store information anywhere, anytime in the whole world using internet connection. And internet cloud infrastructure increases organization productivity and efficiency by ensuring that our data is always accessible. Pretty common issue, pretty common advantage. Low maintenance cost. So when you use any particular cloud services for backup and restore or any kind of services, it you need to pay very low amount, very small amount compared to hosting that entire services on your premises. Because if if you want to host that services on your premises, then you need to buy those hardware, maintain a proper server room, and pay the electricity bill, maintenance charges, and you need to also hire some technical people who will take care of the server room. So obviously for that particular part you need to pay a lot of money, but here you are just taking it on rent on virtual basis. So that's why you don't need to pay as much as server room. So you just need to pay a very less amount till the time you are using that services. Then mobility. So obviously mobility means you can access all your services using mobile also. Then services in the pay per use model. So there are common APIs pre-trained model which can help to integrate with your software. So basically, let's say in your software you need to add one functionality, let's say chatbot functionality or speech to text. Then you can use integrated API in your web application or any kind of software using pay as per model. So you don't need to pay a lot of money. Unlimited storage capacity. So for example, if I'm using Google Drive for free, for a general use I get only 15 GB, but if I pay more then I will get 100 MB, sorry 100 GB, 200 GB. Like it's up to me how much capacity I want on my Google storage account. Like I can get unlimited storage capacity also, but I need to pay that much amount. So you don't end up with storage shortage. Then data security. So obviously your data is not on local premises, it is on cloud. So it is not your responsibility to take care of that data. Cloud service provider will take care of your data security. So data security is one of the biggest advantages of cloud computing. Cloud offers many advanced features related to security, and it ensures that the data is securely stored and handled. Now, disadvantage. So the first disadvantage is obviously internet connectivity. If you don't have internet on your machine or device, you won't able to access the cloud services. That is the biggest disadvantage. That's why in few of the critical cases, companies prefer some services to be deployed on their premises. So there is no dependency of the internet. So as you know, in cloud computing, every data, which is image, audio, video, and everything is stored on the cloud. And we can access this data through the cloud by using internet connection. But if you don't have a good internet connectivity, you cannot access this data. For example, if you don't have internet, you won't able to access the YouTube, Netflix, any of the services, because all those services are hosted on the cloud. Then vendor lock-in. Now, vendor lock-in is the biggest disadvantage of the cloud computing. For example, if vendor lock-in is nothing but you are using one service from AWS and you want to transfer some data or services to some other platform, for example, Azure. So AWS has some different platforms and services. Azure has some different platform and services. So if you migrate from one service provider to another service provider for your one feature, then that will be a little bit of tricky and problematic thing because of this vendor lock-in. Then limited control. So as we know, cloud infrastructure is completely owned, managed, and monitored by the cloud service provider. So as a user, you could have less control over the function and execution services within the cloud infrastructure because of IaaS service, PaaS service, and SaaS service that we will see later. Now, security. All through cloud services providers implement best security standard to store important information. So you don't need to worry much about the security part because cloud service provider will take care of everything related to security part. Then, but before adopting the cloud technology, you should be aware that you will be sending all your organizational data or sensitive data to the third party services. And cloud computing services providers, while sending the data to the cloud, that may be the chance that your organization information is hacked by hackers. It's a very rare case, but cloud services provider will take care of your security part. So if you are worried about the again this kind of security, like you don't want to send your data to some third party services, then what you can do, you can set up entire services on your premises, so your data will not leave your organization and it will not go to third party services. But again, that's a costly procedure. So these are the disadvantage of the cloud computing. Now in next part, we will see the common usage of cloud computing and cloud services.